there, I'm Cheryl. This is the Whole Bucket. Welcome, and welcome back to Whole Bucket. Today is day 1. Take a look. Dephemerember, Butterfly and 3 Torn Things Day. So exciting. So, in order to work on prompt number 1 for Dephemerember, we're going to have some tea and we're going to have some cookies from some country in the world. And we're going to let drawing a number out of this little bag decide which cookie we're going to have and what piece of ephemera we're going to work with. So let's super quick, draw a number out of here. And you know what else? I'm going to turn off autofocus because that's driving me crazy. Let's just do that. Okay. All right. So I have all the numbers in here. Let's see what we're going to have. We're going to do cookie number 16. Okay. We're starting at the end. Let me grab cookie number 16. I have a giant box back here with all 16 kinds of cookies. Oh, and I like today's cookie. So today we have from Holland stroopwafel. Stroopwafels. I love these gosh darn things. I am not sad that we're starting with stroopwafel. And let's take out today's tea and see what we're going to have with it. We're going to have, these do say somewhere, green tea with rosehip and hibiscus. I don't know how that's going to be with caramel, because the stroopwafels have caramel in them. But we'll see. You know, where's the number? Oh, there it is, number 4. Okay, so we'll throw that back in there. We'll throw this in the teapot and let it get going. And then we'll take a look at what we're going to be making or using, whichever way it may go. So number 16 is labels. Soup, cigar, and clothing tags are some examples I have, but I think any sort of label can be used. So I am going to go gather a few things and set my box of tea aside, and I will get out a single stroopwafel, and I'll be right back. Okay, I think I have my things gathered, so if I don't, I'll just pause again and go get some stuff. But let's get started on some crafting together. First, we have got to pour out our tea. Oh, wow. What a pretty color. Was it rosehip and hibiscus? Is that what it was? I don't remember now. I don't even think it stayed hot very long. But I'm going to put my stroopwafel over anyway, because stroopwafels go over a hot beverage, and then they get all gooey and melty in the middle, and their deliciousness. And I was thinking, if you know, I don't really know, but these are from Holland. But I don't know that stroopwafels are from Holland originally, or it's just this brand that's from Holland. That might be the case in all the cookies in here. I mean, I can't guarantee where they originally come from. The brand I bought is from a particular country, right? But oh, goodness sakes. All right, this wasn't supposed to be sitting here. I have a whole bunch of different effies going on. And I forgot to cut some stuff out. So let me put this little stuff to the side. And then I'm going to cut some stuff out while we chat. So I have decided that my 2 versions of the Dephemerember supplies, goodness sakes, are going to be Effie's scrapbook or journal, you know, whatever Effie decides to call it. Goodness sakes, I inhaled wrong and now I'm choking to bits. Anyways, day 1 of our journal is going to be when Effie heard a cry in the woods, a very tiny cry in the woods, ever so tiny, but it sounded so sad and so desperate that Effie went out on adventure to find where the cry was coming from and why was someone so sad. And did they need help? And so Effie went out and followed the sound, right? And came across a little tiny somebody. And this little tiny somebody was injured. And this little tiny somebody was a butterfly. And the butterfly had a tear in her wings. And she had a cut on her body. And she was crying because she couldn't fly. And she was very hurt and upset and felt unsafe. And Effie said, "Don't worry, I will help you. I will help you. We can fix it." Because Effie's heart was breaking for this beautiful tiny creature. Well, actually, she's not so tiny, right? Because Effie's a little tiny creature too. But in any case, Effie's like, "Okay, hang on, I'll help you." So Effie ran back home and tried to figure out what to do to help this injured butterfly. And came up with the idea that he could maybe help her by getting her a bandage. That makes sense. But how do you tie up butterfly wings to help them get better, right? He wasn't really sure because butterflies are so delicate. So the first thing he did was to bring out some gauze. It's what Effie had in supply, and at least it's delicate too, and it's gentle. So he figured he could probably figure out a way to help the butterfly with this. So he went back and he started having a conversation with this beautiful butterfly, and he said, "Hey, what's your name? It's gonna be okay. What's your name? You're so beautiful. And I'm gonna help you, and we're gonna figure this out. What's your name?" And she said, "My name is Remy. What's your name?" Well, of course, he introduced himself because he's not rude. He said, "I am Effie, and I live nearby. And if we can just help you feel a little bit better and maybe get you to my house, I will take care of you until you are all better." And she cried and cried and cried some more. And he's like, "What's wrong? We're going to make it better." And she explained that it was late in the year and she needed to be gone soon. And all of her family and friends had already left for the winter. And winter was coming. And if she didn't leave soon, she wouldn't be able to leave at all. And she is very, very behind. So he said, "Well, don't worry. Let's just see what's going to happen. And let's just try to get you better first. Because really, that's the very first thing that has to happen. Is you just have to, get healthy enough to even think about what's next, right?" So Effie helped Remy get some rest and calm down. And then Effie helped Remy by doing a little bit of a patch job on her wings. And what happened was, because her wings look smooth, but they're not completely smooth. So when Effie put little pieces of his bandage on the wings, it kind of stuck, which was really all they needed because she wasn't going to be flying. They just needed the bandage to stick and hold, make sure nothing got more damaged, to hold everything in place so she could get to a place that would be safe to rest. Well, it worked, right? Remy and Effie slowly but surely made their way back to Effie's house. And they got Remy all cozy and settled in and got her a place to recuperate. But no sooner did they get there and get all settled in out in the yard, right? Because Remy wanted to stay outside. She's an outside butterfly. But no sooner did they get her all cozied into a spot in the yard than Effie saw the raven flying overhead. And all of a sudden they were both so scared. Because, I don't know if you know this, but ravens can eat butterflies. You know what else they can eat? Small mouse-type critters. So Effie, being the bravest little critter anybody could ever know, gently but quickly covered up Remy with his little tiny body and said, "I will protect you." And the raven just continued to keep flying in, flying in, flying in. They got more and more scared, and the raven got closer and closer and closer. And Effie was kind of having a hard time, right? Because Effie always looked out his window and admired the beauty of this raven and was like, "Oh, she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. She's scary, but she's beautiful." And now this absolutely amazing creature that is big enough to have Effie for lunch is so close and looks like it's going to land right in Effie's yard. And Effie is both starstruck, amazed at this beautiful creature, and terrified that this is just the end of the road. Well, it turns out but it was certainly not the end of the road. In fact, this was just the beginning of what would turn out to be a long, amazing road. What do I mean by that? Well, it turns out that the raven was kind of watching what was going on, also heard the cries of Remy, and went off to find something to help, and came back with a bandage. So the raven landed, came with what was a butterfly enclosure, and figured out a way to wrap it around the body of Miss Remy. And then made sure that Remy and Effie stayed supplied the whole time that Remy was trying to get better from her accident. This right here is going to be the first page of Effie's scrapbook / journal. And in it, on this first page, is some of the stuff that Effie saved. So she has a picture of, or he has a picture of the raven. Once they finally got over the fear part and realized that the raven was there to help, you know, Effie confessed his crush on the raven and said, I didn't know to be scared or amazed at you. I guess I'm both. And just confessed the whole thing. And so relieved that someone was coming to help, because he wasn't really sure how to take care of a sick butterfly. And what is your name? Since we're all becoming fast friends. My name's Effie. This is Remy. Who are you? And she said, my name is Ember. And he said, Ember, you are amazing. I can't believe when I watch you out my window and you are just soaring through the sky. It is one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen. And she, I mean, if a raven could blush, she would be blushing. And she said, well, thank you very much. That is super kind of you. I just think you should know that Remy here is also a beautiful creature, and so are you, and so aren't we all. And, you know, maybe you don't have wings, but there's other things that are great about you. Don't ever think there aren't great things about everybody. And after that, the fear went away, and they were fast friends, and they stayed that way. And now that I'm done telling the beginning of my ridiculous story that I didn't tell very well, I apologize. I'm realizing that I probably should have done some cutting before I saw you guys, because again, I don't know how to edit videos yet. Maybe, you know what? I don't think I'll ever learn, to be honest, because I would have to have more energy and more health to commit more time than I do. So I think we're always going to have these rambling craft with me kinds of videos from me. I think I'm okay with that. But I wish I had gotten my story across better about how Effie and Ember met and how they first cared for, how their first meeting and their first experience as friends together was caring for Miss Remy, the butterfly. I want to try something here. Let's just scoot all around Miss Ember quick. Ah, itchy nose. Okay. Okay. As soon as I'm done cutting out Ember, we'll take a look at stroopwafels and hibiscus tea and try them because my throat's already getting scratchy. I've only been sitting here for a minute. I haven't even been talking very long and I'm already scratchy. Switching to winter weather, right? Dry air. Okay, so today's prompts, a butterfly and 3 torn things. Well, one of the torn things in my case is the butterfly. Ow! She got hurt. It was a terrible accident. I'm not sure what happened. Like a gust of wind blew her the wrong way when she wasn't concentrating or something. It was a surprise attack of a wind. And she was caught off guard. And she got hurt. And thankfully, Remy the butterfly ran into the likes of Effie and Ember long before something not so friendly could get to her. 'Cause you know what? A poor, helpless butterfly might be a tasty snack for all kinds of things that live in the woods. And we just don't need tragedies like that. Okay, so I'm gonna just here, this is why I did this. So I just did the little edges so I can just come in here like this. And just snip out the little white triangles. Okay, this is working. Feel free to skip around my videos, especially when I get quiet and I got nothing to say. I mean, what are you just sitting there for? But if you don't like the talky kind of videos but you still want to see what I'm up to, I have zero problems with people just skipping around. I would like it if you could leave a like and maybe a comment and maybe subscribe, because those are always good things, and I would like to grow into a thing and have a little community of artists and old people or maybe even just people concerned with old people, or maybe just young people who want to hear what it's like to turn into an old people, because that's another thing that I do here, or wants to hear about some maybe tips and advice about how to live with chronic illness and disability and all that jazz. If any of those things interest you, come around and talk and visit and do art and expand your brain and your spirit through art, and have a talk about how you deal with stuff. Okay, so let's do some edging on Ember quick. And I am basically just making a journaling card. I think you can probably see that, right? I want to, I'm starting pretty easy. I mean, my number 16 on my ephemeral list was labels. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in just a second here. And I'm going to have to make the second one off screen because I only got one version of Ember. And I'm not going to, I mean, it was bad enough I sat here and cut one out, but I'm not going to print another one and go cut it out and get it ready while you guys are sitting here. And what did I say? I don't know how to edit. I suppose I could pause and get another ember and cut it out and just pop back. Maybe I'll do that, but maybe I'll do the whole thing offline or off video and then just show you the result when it's done. But here's what I'm rambling about. So the prompt today was a butterfly and 3 torn things, and my assignment as far as ephemera goes was a label. So I have a story of an injured butterfly being cared for by a mouse type creature. I don't know what Effie is actually. I wish he would tell us, because that would be nice. I mean, if we even know, maybe we just don't know. But oh gosh, I lose my thought a lot. Effie is a mouse type creature, and Effie took care of a butterfly type creature with the help of a raven, and they all ended up better for it and friends. And what did they do? Well, the raven brought in a butterfly closure, which, by the way, they had a gigantic laugh over, because when Effie went to find something, no, not Effie, when Ember went to find something to help take care of the butterfly, she found this, a whole box of them, and it says right on it, butterfly closures. Well, ravens are pretty smart, so she knew that that said butterfly, so she thought it was something for butterflies. Once Effie and Ember learned what butterfly closures were, they had a hoot of a time, laughing about how they thought it was just for butterflies. But in this case, it did work for a butterfly, so, you know, they weren't so terribly far off. So they bandaged up the butterfly with a butterfly closure, with some gauze, and they fed her chicken noodle soup. Or one of the cards will be chicken noodle soup, and one of the cards will be tea and stroopwafels, because stroopwafels are our thing of the day, our cookie of the day. All right, so page 1 of Effie's scrapbook. Let's try some hibiscus tea and a stroopwafel. That is, wow, okay, that is a little bitter, actually. Oh, I bet it'll be good with how sweet this is, though. I will tell you in just a second if I think that's wonderful. And yeah, I was right. That the terrible sweetness, not terrible, the extreme level of sweetness in this stroopwafel because of the caramel inside. That's a lot of sugar, right? It goes super well with this little bit of bitter. And I didn't think it was going to, because rose and hibiscus just didn't sound like it would go with caramel to me. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this background piece, and what did I want to do? I think I want to take the corners off and round it a bit. And then I think we'll edge this thing with some nice dark ground espresso. There we go. I might have to get my inker out I think my ground espresso might be getting sick and tired of my behavior. Okay. Okay. And then, so we're going to glue it on here, and here's all the pieces that we're going to use. We have torn bandage, torn butterfly packaging, and a torn butterfly. Poor Remy. It's terrible, but she'll be all better soon. And I think I need another piece of torn bandage. Rawr. That doesn't tear very well without falling apart, huh? Let's just do that. And I think I want to add some color to it. So let's just pull our catalog out, and I can just do this so it'll color it without making it fall apart. I do have some tea-dyed cheesecloths that would work in this case, but since I do not have them with me at this moment, right? I'm not going to go get them. I could, but I am trying to limit myself to whatever I think of to bring to the table on these days. Because I don't know about you guys, but I could spend hours going back and forth, right? It can just get too ridiculous. So there is our gauze bandage. We have our background paper that's going to go on some tea-dyed paper. I think I have to turn this over. Yep, I want this dark side to be the side we glue on, so the other side is a little bit friendlier for writing. And then, look what else I want to do. I want to go through the ginger scraps. Oh my goodness! What could we put on this one? Ginger scraps. I want another layer. I want a whole nother layer, I think, because I want this card to be super sturdy. And actually, let's see if this one will even work, because look at that. That gives a really nice gold border, but it kind of wastes the polka dots, doesn't it? What if I put it off kilter? What if I put it... I think that still wastes a lot of the dots. I mean, what is worse than wasting your dots? Let me find another ginger scrap. I'm not sure what might be right for this. All right, well, I'm right back to this. So, what can I do to use this paper but not waste the dots? I think I could let's try if we just tear some. I mean, it is tear stuff day, right? 3 torn things. Now I have 4. Can I then just put a torn, maybe a torn border to make this a little bit bigger and utilize the dots then? I sure can. I sure can. I think I like that. So I'm going to ground espresso the edge. And take another look at it, but I think that was a winner. I like the subtlety because the gold metallic almost matches this tea-dyed paper. Kind of love that. I love that it's expanding the... What is it expanding? It's expanding the size of the piece by doing this. My stomach is making the most ridiculous noises right now. What I don't like about this choice right here is that it's going to leave some of the edges just plain tea-dyed paper. That means they'll be a little weak, but I think I know how we can fix that too. And I think I have to re-ink this edge. I have to tear it and re-ink it because it shows up a little bit. And I don't want that straight edge when everything else about this particular edition is torn in free form. There are people that are so good at doing that, mixing the straight lines with the organic lines and stuff, and I have such a hard time with that. So I think for me that if I have organic lines, I need to keep having organic lines, which isn't necessarily true. If you're one of those people who can do it differently, I envy you. Okay, so now we have created a much bigger piece than just this background piece by itself. And I'm liking that so far. In fact, I'm liking this enough to commit. So let's start gluing. Let's start gluing and have another sip of tea. Life is good when you have tea and stroopwafels. Wow, that really is very bitter. Okay, one quick look. One quick look. I didn't try this side up. Do we like that side up? Let me get it down here and let me look at my screen quick. Or did we like this side up better? I like this side up better. Okay. Okay, we're good. I'm going to start with this then. Goodness sakes, man. My glue is really squashy today. I wonder why, because it's really cold in my studio today. You would think it would be, you know, firmer than usual when it's very cold, but it's really squashy. I think I'm going to set that inside. I'm not sure why, and I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. But I am gluing the golden dots tiny, tiny bits outside of the edge of the tea-dyed paper. So it's going to have a border ever so tiny on this side. I like it though. There it is though. The combination of an organic line with a straight structured line. Ugh, my nemesis. Artistically speaking, my nemesis. And why can I get away with it here? Because this is a straight line and this is an organic line, right? But I curved these lines. So I consider that organic. Because any curve makes it organic, right? Sometimes I don't know about me. Just goofy. All right. Let's get this background section down. And I think I will put it a little off kilter. I always like to make the top border smaller than the bottom border. And I find myself a lot lately making bottom borders smaller than top borders instead. I'm not sure what's happening to my brain. I'm going to blame it on aging. I'm an old lady, leave me alone. There we go. Okay. Let me think for one sec here. What are we going to do about the tea-dyed paper? So we need to get it, down in size. I think I will try maybe just using a tearing ruler right at the edge of that background paper that I have. And then I'll try it not quite even Steven. Oh, it worked. Can't believe I got away with that. It didn't glue set enough yet, so I got away with tearing it, and it left the polka dot paper there. Except this little corner. Okay, I got it. I win. I got the little corner to come off. And now the hardest part, I think, is going to be this top, which, gosh darn me, I should have made this decision before I glued anything. And it's going to be a pain in the rump roast to tear this little tiny edge. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to fold that back. It's easier to hold it down a little tiny edge and pull the bigger piece. There, I'll go with that. I don't know what happened just there. Let's find out. Put that back up where it was. I don't like that. What if we fold it over though? Could I like that? Could I like that? Oh, that's weird. That's weird, guys. Okay, could we like it if I tear this a little lower? Because I just did. Oh my. I hope this works out. Yes, I do. I don't like the angle that this is left with at all. See how wide it is here? And I think it just dips too far at this end. So I don't like that at all. It's too uneven for me. I do like it better on the back though. I think that's fine. And I think I can figure out how to fix this, because if I remember right, when I was laying this all out during story time and to see how all my pieces were going to fit, I do believe that Ember was up here in the corner. So Ember is going to make a bit of a difference. Also, I think we're going to need a little bit of some sturdiness behind Ember's wing. So let me see if I can get another piece of, let's see if there's another section of some sort of ginger scrap. I thought I had a blue thing. There is kind of a blue sky kind of feel to this. I'm gonna tear this out and see if I can put something up in the top just to add some to the top right here, right? But it's just to help Ember's wings, so I can still have Ember going off of the main card and still have her wings sticking off the top. I think I'm going to glue that on the back right there. I don't think this is going to be enough to make Ember's wings stronger. If it's not, it's okay. Then it'll be a transition piece. And if it ends up being a transition piece, I'll show you what that means when I get this far. Okay, so I like that for a few different reasons, but like I said, I don't think it's going to be high enough unless I bring Ember down quite a bit. Oh, that's so close. All right, let's measure some stuff out. So if we have Ember sitting right there, that's Ember taking up an awful lot of space on the background. We could do butterfly closures. No, wait, I have an idea. What if we do Remy, the butterfly right there. And the gauze that Effie brought to the party. Did anybody see where I put the piece of gauze that I colored? Could you just, you know, yell out? Yeah, it's over there. Is it over here? Huh. Well then. I guess I will dye a new piece. Or maybe I'll just do this. Yeah, I'll just do this. I think I'm going to build Ember. No, not Ember. Remy on the gauze. So it'll be a little bit backgroundy. Yeah, I kind of like that. But then I do want it dyed. And it's not. So, back over to the book quick. And back with the pouncing. If it's sitting here right under my nose and I don't see it, but you guys do, I bet you're somewhere in the world saying, "You big dummy, it's right there." I apologize if that's the case. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. So we'll just dye that a little bit and then kind of spread it out. And glue it to myself. There. If we do that, can we just build Remy right on there? Well, the answer is yes, we can, but I don't like how it's not dark enough for me. I want it. What if I do this? What if we just smash it right into the ink pot? I've created too dark and busy of a background, so it's going to be tricky to get things to really show up on it and be distinct. But as everything in Dephemerember, I like to have the challenge, right? Because that's kind of the whole point of Dephemerember to me, with the prompts and stuff, is to do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do. Okay, so I'm actually gonna bring Remy and Effie closer together. No, Remy and Ember closer together. You do hear, I'm sure, that Remy is part of Dephemerember, and so is Ember. I may have made mistakes in my ideas for naming everybody in the same vein as Effie. Because I think my names are I'm gonna jumble them. But Effie and Remy, no, Effie and Ember are kind of the gist of all the plans I have. Ember's here to stay. Okay, this is a piece of the bandage packaging. So I think we can represent the bandage packaging. I think we can represent the bandage like this. That's kind of stupid looking. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, here, I have an idea. I'm going to knock things off my board. Okay, I'm going to put Effie down. No. Ember. Do you know that my kids are in their 30s and 40s, and I still call them by each other's names? So why I think I'm going to get these three or these two new characters in my life correct, I don't know. Because I've been their mom for an awful long time, and I still call them by the wrong names. Do any of you do that? Do you have kids and you call them by the wrong names? It's not new. And I do it to my kids, and I do it to my cats. And now I do it to my fictional fantasy story creatures, apparently. Who knew? I mean, we could have guessed, right? If you do it everywhere else. But with me having to, with me having that problem already, and then on top of it, I've decided to name them sort of tongue-twistery sorts of things. I am second-guessing some choices. Okay, so we have an Ember on here, and now we have a Remy on here. And she's in a little bit of a nest, getting better. And Ember is coming into the rescue as well. And I really did want to put some of this bandage in Ember's feet. So let me try it one more time. Let me try one more time if I can if I can get just the look of Ember flying with a bit of gauzy bandage. Of course, that's not what she came in with, is it? She came in with the butterfly closures, but I don't want a big clumpy box. Goodness sakes. I am misrepresenting the story because of my preferences for what Ember carries. I don't know. I don't know about me. All right. Unglue that a little bit. Ember's got bandages flying in her face. I mean, maybe she went to, you know, special wash these or get some more of this kind. Maybe Effie didn't have enough and she had to go get some more. Or she took it down to the river to get it all cleaned up, because you don't want to wrap an injured butterfly in dirty gauze. You got to get it spiffy. And maybe Effie was using it for, you know, out in the garden, and even the new stuff was looking kind of raggedy. That's my story. Okay, so there is that. But then I have some other things I need to represent. I've decided that the bandage and the butterfly closure and the caring for Remy with chicken noodle soup are going to go on the back of this thing. Let's edge the butterfly closures, because that's just a hoot of a story right there that they thought it was actually bandages for butterflies. I bet Ember couldn't believe her luck. I bet she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I found such a perfect thing. And then Remy must have got nervous. What are you trying to put on me? No, that's not butterfly stuff. Well, they decided it would work anyway, at least on her body. And they were right. I mean, it worked, right? It closed up the spot that got hurt the worst on her body and let her heal, so it worked. In spite of the misunderstanding. There we go. Whoops. Sliding parts. Slow simmered chicken noodle soup. Some butterfly closures. Let's put a couple of these leftover bits together up here. Let's put a little section of the gauze up there in the corner too. And in fact, we'll have this hanging down the side a little bit. That'll be kind of funny. Leave that hanging down the side. Okay. I'm sticking it to me more than the page. Okay, that's going to go down the side right there. Let go of me. Ah. And should we actually put a butterfly closure on here somewhere? I really think I should, but I'm not sure I'm gonna, because my sensibilities want me to not do that. But I want to not do what I think is sensible. I think I can, I think if I just tuck it under here on the side, it'll be all right in my brain. It'll be funny, but kind of hidden. A little bit hiding. So not glaring bandage stuck to a piece of paper. All right, now I want some edging on the back of this thing. I'm going to do it just around the whole thing to get it a bit unified. Whoops, that was not smart. I'm not even sure why I did that, but now I got a big brown blob on my paper. There are two ways to fix that big brown blob. One is to make more big brown blobs. Looks like that's what I've chosen. But now I'm not thrilled with that either. So I will do the other way also. And the other way is to just add some water because after all, hold on, I'm going to do it over the garbage can. Because after all, it is water reactive ink. There. Okay. That will dry and then I'll take a look at how that looks. And we'll see if I need to make any more changes to the mistakes I made. In the meantime, what can we do over on this side to improve the look of this card? One thing we can do is grab a bit of a pencil and see if we can put a little bit of shadow underneath Ember. So this is a watercolor pencil and I'm just doing a line of a bluish green color. And I need some water. I think I'll spray it right here on my table. Come on. There we go. I just want to go where I put this line of green and just activate that water. Activate the watercolor pencil to get the color to the line to soften, right? I want a shadow line, but I don't want it to look like I just drew with a pencil. I want it to look a little hazier than that. How's that? Oh, I like that. It looks like it could use a little under the beak. We'll do the same thing. And it looks like it could use a little under this wing right here. So just put a line of watercolor pencil, right? And then soften the line with water. This is something that people who do mixed media do with much more skill than I do, but it is a lovely technique. And this one, I don't like that there's a little line between the bird and the shadow. So I'm actually going to go in there again, right, and try to get right up against my birdie, Miss Ember, and just do the same thing. And the thing about this is that you can just watercolor pencil, you can just do it till you're happy, and then because it's water reactive, right, you can just blot some off, or like if I thought this was too much, I could just blot some off, or I can always add more, or I can wait for this to dry and see how it looks, and do I want to change anything? I don't think that's too much. I think that's lovely. So I'm just going to leave that like that. But I do want to add more under the wing. Now I think the wing doesn't have enough. Here. All right, let me see. Yep, I like the shadow under Ember. Now we need something for Remy. Remy needs some antennae. And I don't really know what to use for antennae. I wanted to do the thing Barbara does when she just wraps up some thread and sort of insinuates antennae. But I don't really see any thread anywhere. I guess I'll glue that back down. What I do see though is, this is not even the color I would like, but I do have some sepia markers right here. I'd rather they were black, but they're not. So let me find a good size. How about if I just, I'll go with a middle size. I'll go with a 5. I will go with a 5. This is a Bianyo marker. It's a lot like Micron pens, right? They're the same sort of thing. And I'm going to put like a little circle and then a light swoop in. And then I'll do the same over here. And I went way too big. There. Can you even see that? Oh, you so can. You so can. If you wonder why I ask if you can see stuff, it's because when I'm doing it, the art stuff, I'm at a weird angle because this is up here under my camera, right? And I am back on my chair. And this is a weird angle to do art at, as I'm sure you've heard in anybody's videos you watch. But if I stop for just a second and look right over there at my monitor, then I can see how it's looking. And right now I'm thinking it's not great. I'm not liking Remy's eyes. So I'm going to do that. I'm not liking the edge of Remy's wings, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do there, but something needs to be done. Let's see, what could we do about Remy's wings? You know what we could do? We could do gel pen. Also something that I have sitting just by me. So I'm not cheating on my own rule. This is actually something that's at my desk. That actually kind of goes, but this is a lot brighter than I'd like. Let's see if it's gonna, I can't believe I'm experimenting right on what is supposed to be a finished piece. That's just, I mean, why not? I guess. Didn't I just say that's what Dephemerember's for? To get out, learn stuff, get out of your comfort zone, etc. I mean, I kind of said that. I said it a different way, but it's no less true. I just want to go around the edges because I'm not happy with the definition in Remy's wings, or the lack thereof, I should say. I think I can do this, and then I think I can take the same sepia marker and tone this color down. So that's what I'm going to try to do. All right, sorry I got quiet there for a minute. I guess I was concentrating on perfecting Remy's wings. That is way too bright for my liking, although again on my monitor it doesn't show up that bright. But what if I combine it so it's a bit more spotted with the fluorescent? Maybe I'll do this off camera. That got a little long, didn't it? Lots of stuff is getting pretty long about this little card here. How long is this video? Oh, over an hour now. Boy, if you sat around watching this long of a video, bless you. If you skipped around, bless you. Equally, I would say, however you participate, I appreciate you. I think I best just played off in the background somewhere, like not watching the whole thing. Just check in once in a while, see what's up, what's going on. There. Okay, now do I like it any better? Yes, I like that much better. So I've toned down the fluorescent with the sepia that I used to make the antennae. I'm happy with that. I think I'm going to leave this card just as you see it. And I'll make the second one off camera because it's really late and this video is really long and I want some dinner. So I will do the other one and then I will show it off and you can let me know what you think in the next video. All right, thank you for hanging out. See you next time. Bye.